Ciao gente, thank you for clicking on the video. I play PvZ and I have a horrible stutter, so please keep that in mind. And that's it, so enjoy the video punks. Toxic Brainz. He's a Super Brainz variant who is literally Goku, which technically means he has a 9,000 power level, but that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the legendary rarity and has a few gimmicks underneath his helmet. For one, a Toxic Brainz is a toxic variant, which means you will inflict the toxic element onto a plant if you punch with your primary, use your laser beam, or just stand next to someone. The toxic element has the inflicted target take 3 ticks of 2 damage, which in total is 6 extra damage. A bonus trait is if you toxicate a plant and they stand next to a teammate, that teammate will also take some extra toxic damage. Pretty neat. 2. Toxic Brainz deals less damage than regular Super Brainz. A full regular Super Brainz combo deals 98 damage, and his laser beam up close deals 8 damage. Meanwhile, a full combo of Toxic Brainz deals 60 damage. Meanwhile, his laser beam up close deals only 4 damage. So, just comparing the stats alone, it seems Toxic Brainz kinda sucks. He's trading way too much damage just for some extra toxic damage. So what exactly makes this guy so legendary? Huh. I'm already in my legendary meter. Toxic Brainz is labeled as a legendary variant, which means he has a legendary meter. This legendary meter is earned simply by punching a plant 10 times. 10 times. After you go through the effort of pressing left click 10 times, what exactly does this meter do? Well, for one, it increases your movement speed by, I don't know man, something, I don't know the exact percent, I'm sorry, but it's faster, and that's all that matters. For 2, it gives you extra defense. To put this defense in perspective, H.R.IMP normally does 33 damage per headshot. However, a Toxic Brainz in Toxic Overload will only take 15 damage. It seems pretty fair to me. A little bonus trait is that you can stack this extra speed and defense while in Turbo Twister, which means you can just go a little bit faster. 3. If you're below 100 health, Toxic Overload will instantly heal you back up to 100 HP, which seems pretty fair to me. And finally, the last trait you receive is more damage. So, a little flashback, a Toxic Brainz primary normally deals 10, 20, 30, which rounds up to 60. I know. I'm a mathematician. However, while in Toxic Overload, you deal 30, 60, 90, which rounds up to 180 damage. Yeah, you know, just a 200% damage increase. Nothing big. Oh yeah, by the way, your beam also deals 12 damage up close per hit. This damage buff also works for every variation of Ultra Ball. So with that in mind, they deal just a slight bit more damage. So, alright, we went over every pro to Toxic Overload. Its speed, its defense, its damage buff, and it also healing you. So now, let's go over the cons of Toxic Overload. Oh. You're still here, aren't you? Yeah, no, there are 0 cons. It's literally as simple as punch 10 times, receive a 200% damage boost, some extra speed and defense, healing, and that's it. It's that easy. If I had to name one con to Toxic Overload, is that when you get revived, your meter will always go back to 0 punches, which is just, oh my goodness, you poor thing. You have to press your primary button 10 more times. Oh my god, you poor soul. Oh, and also, one more thing. If you're playing Toxic Brainz and find any weed or vase weed, look at it, punch it 9 times, and once you've punched it 9 times, go rush any plant you want and just...
Monster kill! I've got you in my... I can't... Fuck it!
Vampire Flower. She's a sunflower variant that is a literal emo girl, which technically means her favorite store is Hot Topic, but that's a conversation for another day. She falls under the super rare rarity and has a few gimmicks underneath her fangs. For starters, let's go over her main gimmick, which is Lifesteal. The Lifesteal gimmick does the following. If Vampire Flower is wounded but ends up damaging a zombie with her primary weapon, a Vampire Flower will then heal a small portion of her health back. A Vampire Flower at Elite level 5 will also receive a unique upgrade called Vampiric. This upgrade increases the amount of health your Lifesteal heals you for, which is pretty much a must-have upgrade on this character. Vampire Flower's second gimmick is her tiny amount of health. This woman has 85 health. 85 health. To put this health in perspective, a Reg SB could 3-punch combo you. Cosmic Brainz could max charge 1-punch you. Z7-Imp could just... Captain Cannon 3-shots you. Reg Scientist could almost 1-shot you. Ultra Taco could just... This character dies to almost anything in the entire game. And I don't love it. This character is just really bad. I'm gonna be dead honest with you guys. She has no health at all and it gets lasered from pretty much any zombie in the entire game. With your low health as well, you're forced to use only one upgrade loadout, being Vampiric, health upgrade, and ammo. Notice how I didn't mention damage upgrade? Yeah, because there is no damage upgrade. No damage upgrade. The other sunflowers also have just way more health and DPS. While at range, you only deal 6 to 8 damage and you end off still dealing 6 to 8 damage. Because again, no damage upgrade. And alongside that, your ammo is just piss horrible. Compare that to regular Flower. She has... Look! Not only does she deal little damage and have no health, but her gimmick is a little weak. Why is it weak? Well, let's go over the concept of healing in this game. If you are to be healed by a sunflower or a scientist, that healing you are receiving will also cancel out any element in the game. If that is fire damage, ice damage, toxic damage, or even jinxed from Nec'Rose, it cancels it all. But on Vampire Flower, while healing, she doesn't get that. Why? I don't know. She's still technically healing herself, so why can't she also just cleanse elements? Thanks, PopCap. Now, even though this character is very weak, she's still one of the most popular characters in all of Garden Warfare 2. With loads of fan art, much love from the community, and being one of the most played characters, she's just very popular. And to be honest, even though she's very bad, I had a lot of fun on this character. I'm gonna be very honest with you. While replaying this character for this video, I was just having a lot of fun playing her. It just felt so good at just healing out any damage I was given to me, and combined with Rainbow Heal Flower, I was pretty much invincible most of the time. But that said, this character is still very hard to play. Since she has low health, anything kind of kills you, and it sucks, I know. And there's also one more thing we haven't talked about with Vampire Flower, and that is her design. Now, her design is one of the most unique in the entire game, and let's go over why. Let's compare her to regular Sunflower. A regular Sunflower is designed after a flower.
Figure that all out on your own, did you?
So she has a green stem, yellow petals, and behind her, little wings that resemble petals. So with that in mind, let's go back to a Vampire Flower. A Vampire Flower is based off a vampire.
Wow, no shit.
With a black, white, and red color scheme, which is a very beautiful color combination. Like, alongside these colors, a set of sharp fangs, little vampire wings, and a little vampire arc for a more emo look. I seriously don't know what the hell this is, so if anyone down in the comments knows, please help. At the top off of the color scheme, the wings, the fangs, the little arch thing, she also has a little skirt. Combining all this together, you have a really unique design, which is just very greatly executed. Alright, so in conclusion, the Vampire Flower really sucks. She hits low damage, has low health, and her gimmick is kinda weak. But she's still very fun to play and has a killer design, which makes her so popular in the first place. 10 out of 10 design, a 5 out of 10 gameplay. And you know what? With all that said, let's go to Google and actually type her in. Vampire Flower. But let's go to images. Oh, I see. Electro Pea. He's a pea shooter variant that nobody likes, which technically means he has no friends. But that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the super rare rarity and has a few gimmicks to his name. His first gimmick is him being a detonation character, or Dedo for short. Dedo characters have a completely unique way of firing at their primary. Here is regular pea shooter firing, and here is Electro Pea firing. Notice any differences? For one, Dedo characters cannot have more than one bullet out at once, which means if EP shoots, he cannot fire another shot until that shot hits an object, a zombie, or is manually detonated while in the air. Though you might be asking, how the hell do you detonate a shot in the air? To detonate a shot in the air, you need to press your primary once more and then kaboom, it's detonated. So one more time, press your primary to fire a shot and then press it once more to detonate that shot you just fired. All cool? Alright, you said it, not me. There are many benefits to detonating a shot while in the air, so let's talk about them. For one, the detonated shot is a giant hitbox while in the air. A giant hitbox as in, if there's a zombie in this gigantic circle of a hitbox, they will be taking damage, no matter what. Seems pretty fair to me. For two, you could abuse this detonated hitbox to attack zombies behind walls. Yep. Being able to attack you behind walls seems pretty fair to me. And the last detonation benefit is, if a zombie is in your face, you could just spam your primary button and they will be forced to take damage. Pretty damn fun stuff, huh? Electro Pea's second gimmick is that he's an electric character. The electric character's damage have the ability to chain their damage onto multiple targets, which means if there are two targets beside each other and an electric character attacks one of them, damage will be inflicted onto the other target as well. The only way to avoid the electric damage is if you don't stand beside any teammate. Sadly, healing doesn't cancel the electric element. Electric Pea's final gimmick would be his speed. Before I show anything, here is pea shooter walking. Cool. And here is Electro Pea walking. Now that is very balanced. And not only that, that extra speed will also be stacked upon with your hyper. So you could go even faster while in hyper. Pretty damn cool to me. So not only is this character a Dedo, electric, he also has increased movement speed. Isn't that just super balanced? Of course, the hardest part of this character is the Dedo gimmick. It's not a beginner friendly, but that is it. Once you learn how to Dedo shots, you don't forget how to Dedo shot. It's like riding a bike with no training wheels. It's very hard at first, but once you learn, you don't forget. If you learn how to Dedo shots, that zombie player can't do anything. Oh, piss. I forgot to mention, this character's damage is incredibly high. It's not like that high, but like, he could 4-shot in most of the zombie cast. And if you're an imp, then good luck avoiding those shots, question mark. If there's a really good Electro Pea on plants, you just pretty much can't play the game, like at all. However, there are some counters to this character, so let's go over them. 1. Arctic Trooper. Arctic Trooper will only counter Electro Pea if you land the first shot. The reason for this is the Electro Pea will be slower and eventually will be frozen, and once he's frozen, you pretty much win, so yeah. 2. All-Star. Electro Pea's DPS really isn't the highest, and with All-Star's 200 HP, he's able to out a DPS Electro Pea completely. Just make sure not to hide behind your shields, since he could just shoot right through them, and that's not that fair. And lastly, Super Brainz. Super Brainz has 200 HP and could completely stall out Electro Pea's hyper by using Turbo Twister. Turbo Twister has insane defense, so right as you see hyper being popped, pop Turbo Twister, right as he's doing that. Once you stall out his hyper, you pretty much win the fight, no matter what. So, in conclusion, Electro Pea is incredibly annoying. He could attack you behind walls, move faster, and still is a pea shooter, so it means he has every pea shooter jank. Janks such as being able to bean jump, and also just pea-gowing, just being flat out broken. This ability sucks. He's not the best pea shooter, but he's just super duper annoying. It doesn't help that every max rank drools upon viewing him in the character select screen. You know what type of people these guys are.
The quote-unquote PvG professionals.
It's like, dude, just get a girlfriend, man. S.H.R.IMP. He's an imp variant who is literally seafood, which technically means Mr. Krabs is his best friend, but that's a conversation for another day. He's a rare variant with one gimmick to his name, so let's talk about it. Shrimp's primary compared to his regular counterpart at first seems very similar, with the two pretty much having neutral ammo. So what's the difference? Well, here's regular imp firing, and then here's shrimp firing. And notice how regular imp's screen is shaking immensely, and meanwhile shrimp's is not. This is due to his primary weapon having a reduced screen shake and increased accuracy. A regular imp, of course, has a faster fire rate, but shrimp trades that extra fire rate for a more accurate primary, which allows shrimp to be better at sniping rather than regular imp, which I think personally is a fair trade-off. And mutual to the other imp variants, shrimp also receives a brand new Z-mech. As we just went over, shrimp and reg imp are very similar. So with that in mind, surely their Z-mechs are as well, right?
So I got a little bit more background.
Oh, I got a little confused.
Yes!
There you go.
Wait, yes.
But
This game is crazy.
Oh my god.
Yes! That's going in. That's going in. That's going in the video.
No they aren't. Shrimp's Z-mech compared to regular imps is just complete light and day, human and devil. First, let's compare the basics from the two. A reg imp Z-mech is wide, has one jump, 350 HP, and a very wide hitbox, with no extra movement options. So you know, the basic stuff. And meanwhile, Shrimp's Z-mech is skinny, which means it has a smaller hitbox, has one jump, but if the button is held down, it could hover in the air, and still maintaining a 350 HP. Now I'm no a meteorologist, but why exactly does Shrimp have the ability to hover in the air? And meanwhile, the literal Dragon Z-mech has 4 little baby jumps. Seems pretty fair to me. Speaking of Little Drake's Z-mech, let's go over Shrimp Mech's abilities. The first ability is Water Cyclone. This ability kind of sucks and really has no use. Its only real use is just as a get off me tool. That's really it. It's really bad. Sometimes it also just doesn't even work. So that's pretty cool. So since Water Cyclone is so bad, surely Shrimp's next ability is bad too, right? No, it's not. Shrimp's second ability is called Shrimp Jump. Shrimp Jump, upon usage, will send you flying into the sky, then slam you down horizontally depending on the location you are facing, which allows you to just go literally anywhere you want on the map. All you have to do is press one button, and now you're in Mars. This ability also has 2 charges, which means you can use the ability 2 times. So you can kind of just fly wherever you want to on the map. I don't know who greenlit this ability. Alright, the abilities are done, and now we just have the primary. Surely the primary isn't that good, right? Shrimp's Z-mech's primary is a laser beam, a literal laser beam. This laser beam has a property which is called hit scan. Anything with the hit scan property works as the following. You aim your reticle on a plant, press your primary weapon, and it will hit the plant no matter what, which means you can be anywhere you want on the map, press your primary, and that's it. It will hit that plant and no matter what. I don't know who balanced this. This character's Z-mech is so unreasonably broken, and the imp really isn't. It has the best movement in the entire game at 350 HP and a hit scan laser beam. And this mech literally has no cons. There is not a single con but only pros. All you have to do is use your Z-mech, stay sniping distance, and that is it. There is zero counterplay as long as you don't be stupid. There is zero excuse for you to play aggressive. Literally zero. I just press Shrimp Jump, I go to a high ground surface. I just press a Shrimp Jump, I go to a high ground surface, use your beam, that is hit scan, and that is it. You have 350 HP, and no one can challenge you, and you can easily just run away whenever you want to. Now keep in mind, whoever balanced Shrimp Mech also balanced Breakfast Brainz. Thanks, PopCap. Plasma Pea. He's a pea shooter that is the skin color of blue, which in theory means he identifies as a Smurf. But that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the rare rarity and has the gimmick of being a charged character. Charged characters could fire their primary in 3 ways. A basic shots, a second charge, and then a max charge. These shots do the following. Basic shots could be thrown out relatively quickly while still dealing great damage, while dealing 20 damage for body shots and 10 damage for splash damage. The second charge takes some time to charge up, but after charged up, Plasma Pea deals 57 damage for a body shot and 20 damage for splash damage. Most of the time, these shots are better to use than your basic shots, due to these shots taking pretty much no time to charge up and dealing relatively more damage. Plasma's last charge is his max charge. The max charge takes the longest to charge up, but once at its mercy, could deal 77 damage for a body shot. That's enough damage to one-shot the entire imp class. Keep in mind, he has 75 health. The max charge's splash damage is also very big. I'm talking super big. If you throw this on the ground next to a zombie, they will most of the time always take 30 damage. The reason for this is the max charge's splash damage is, again, super big. So while being super big and dealing 30 damage, that zombie is forced to always take that damage no matter what. Plasma Pea is also a quite unfinished character. What do I mean by this, you ask? Well, let's compare him to another charge character, being Mystic Flower. Her basic shot takes 1 ammo, her second charge takes 3 ammo, and finally, her max charge takes 6 ammo. Huh. Well, that's pretty neat. Let's go back over to Plasma Pea and see his charge penalties. Oh, there's absolutely none. Plasma Pea's charge shots have 0 penalty for their ammo. Your basic, charge shot, and max charge shot all take just 1 ammo. So with this in mind, Plasma Pea could technically throw out 14 max charge shots in just 1 ammo clip. Meanwhile, if Mystic Flower even dreamed of doing this, she could only do that at max 3 times. Speaking of dreams, let's go right back over to Mystic Flower. Mystic Flower while charging is really fast, which means while charging, she cannot jump at all. Now, let's check Plasma Pea. I see. So Plasma Pea can not only spam 14 max charge shots, but also has the ability to jump around while charging shots. But you better wait because there's more to it. Hey Mystic Flower, what's your walk speed normally? Oh, that's really cool. Hey Mystic, what's your walk speed while being fat? Damn girl, you're slow. Hey Plasma, what's your walk speed normally? Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey Plasma, what's your walk speed while charging? Huh, that's strange. They're like the same time. Because he has no speed penalty. Plasma just bends so many rules, it's like to the point he's cheating. Since as a charge character, you're supposed to have penalties and negatives. But as Plasma Pea, he can just charge up a shot with 0 repercussions at all. The fact that he could one-shot imps, throw out a max charge with unavoidable damage and 0 drop-off damage is a literal crime. Not only that, you could play Plasma Pea like such a wuss. You could stay in one spot of the map, fire up max charges, and just fire them at zombies with no repercussion at all. Since what is that zombie player supposed to do? Challenge you? Oh no, you have hyper. Oh no, you can run away. Oh no, you can jump while charging. This character is stupid. So, in conclusion, Plasma Pea is a cheat code. He bends so many rules to the formula and can get away with them with 0 repercussions. Whoever balanced this character really needs to have their resume inspected, since they might be the biggest Smurf fan in the entire world. How could Plasma Pea ever be balanced? Balance-wise, keep his damage exactly the same, but just give him the other charge character restrictions of moving slower, not being able to jump, and zapping more of your ammo per charge shot. And boom, from there, you have at least a semi-balanced character. However, will that ever happen? The hell do I know? I'm just a 5,000 hour virgin on this game. Golf Star. He's an all-star variant who is a literal golfer, which technically means he knows Donald J. Trump himself. But that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the rare rarity and has a few gimmicks underneath his hat. For one, a Golf Star has an increased zoom-in distance compared to any other all-star, which also means that you could combine this extra zoom-in with the zoom upgrade. Using that, you can see the inside of a Pea Shooter player's brain.
What is going on inside their head?
Alongside that, your reticle and bullet speed are a lot more accurate compared to the other all-stars, which in summary, it just means you will land more shots. 2. A Golf Star's primary is really quick. I'm talking really quick. His bullet speed is the quickest among the all-stars, which allows him to play at any range. A long range, mid-range, or even close range, a Golf Star checks off all the bases. Better yet, his damage is also really good. 3 to 4 damage from long range, 4 to 5 damage from medium range, and up to 6 damage at the closest range possible. This again allows Golf Star to be played at any range since his damage is good all around, which is a big weakness for the other all-stars since they suck at range, and meanwhile Golf Star doesn't. This incredibly high accurate primary is just stupid damn good. The fact that Golf Star could be played in any situation or any range and has no weird gimmicks to his name, he's just always consistently good. He really has no bad matchups. Except that one cactus from Narnia, but you won't be countering that guy anyway. And alongside that, most of the other all-stars just kinda suck. A Tennis Star has horrible fire rate and damage. A Goalie Star is only useful against tanks. Do not use Goalie Star, this character sucks. And Baseball Star is just... he's just Baseball Star. The only reason Golf Star isn't the best all-star would be him competing with Reg and Hockey. These two variants are just kind of monsters, so it's not his fault that he's a third best all-star. Fun fact section! Golf Star's primary weapon makes a really funny noise. A Golf Star, while jumping, you can hear his little clubs just kind of jingle. And finally, if you spam your primary, you can hear Golf Star laughing, which is just really damn funny. A Baseball Star. He's an all-star that is a baseball player. Yeah, no, that's it. He's not that exciting.
What? No, dude!
He falls under the super rare rarity and has one gimmick to his name. Before covering his gimmick, let's go over regular all-star. Regular all-star has an overheating weapon. Overheating weapons have infinite ammo, but eventually overheat if fired for too long, which means you cannot fire your primary until you're done overheating. This has a term titled overheat penalty. So once again, overheating is when your weapon explodes. Overheat penalty is your downtime on overheating. Understood? Alright, you said it, not me. Regular all-star's overheat penalty is relatively short. It's around 2 to 3 seconds, which is really damn long, I'm not gonna lie with you. So let's go check out Baseball Star. Hey Baseball Star, what's your overheat penalty? Whoa, oh my goodness, that has 0 overheat penalty. That's so cool. But have a look at this. Notice how I'm never overheating? Because you can avoid overheating entirely with an all-star tech, which I'm titling the all-star overheat penalty super awesome cool technique. Yeah. So how is the all-star overheat penalty super awesome cool technique performed? Well, the all-star overheat penalty super awesome cool technique is started by zooming in. This tech will only work if you're zooming in. Only zooming in. After zooming in, shoot in a rhythm. Hold your primary, release for a fraction of a second, then repeat. Hold your primary, release, repeat. If you keep up this pattern, you will never overheat and still have immense DPS on the battlefield. And this could be applied onto any all-star variant. Cricket Star, Golf Star, hell, even Moto X Star could perform this tech. So with that in mind, a Baseball Star could also perform the same all-star overheat penalty super awesome cool technique, which makes his entire gimmick completely useless. Playing this character gives you a horrible mindset for playing all-stars, since your brain is telling you,
Oh, it's okay to overheat since we don't have any overheat penalty time.
that is awesome. Now try that same mentality with every other all-star. Yep. Have fun overheating. A Baseball Star is a very unhealthy character. He's teaching you not to learn the All-Star's overheat penalty super awesome cool technique, which you really should be learning the All-Star overheat penalty super awesome cool technique. Also, I forgot to mention one thing. This character's stats suck a gorilla balls, dude. First off, at max range, you deal a total of 4 damage with a very inaccurate weapon spread. So, good luck doing anything from range as this character. And 2, your damage is just incredibly bad. Regular All-Star deals more damage than you at range, distance, and at close range. And to top it all off, with the All-Star Overheat Penalty super awesome cool technique, the Overheat Penalty gimmick does not matter at all. This character is just badly designed. Why are we encouraging players to overheat? Like, is there something I'm missing here? Or like, am I too stupid to understand? Or what could actually make this character good? Give him a brand new gimmick. He plays baseball, right? Cool, let's work with that. After one vanquish, a baseball star gains a 15% speed boost. That's it. That's what would make this character very unique and very fun. Hell, no. While you're at it, make him a legendary variant with a meter called Home Run. When the meter activates, you gain a 45% speed boost. It would make sense since he's a baseball player. So he's got to be running fast on bases and would make him really damn unique. Now, of course, I'm not saying to not play Baseball Star. I just really wish this character was just good and unique at the least, since he just kind of sucks and only motivates you to play worse as All-Star. I give him a meter, I give him that speed boost. I hate this character. I wish he was a unique. Good day, sir. Rose. The Rose variant, who is a purple, which technically means her and Barney are related, but that's a conversation for another day. She falls under the super rare rarity and has a few gimmicks to her name. For one, a Nec'Rose is a charged variant, a very unique one at that. Normally, charged variants have 3 different shots. At their basic shot, a charge shot, and a max charge shot. However, a Nec'Rose only receives a basic shot and a charge shot, no max charge shot. And on top of that, a Nec'Rose receives the charge variant penalties of moving slower while charging, being unable to jump, and zapping more ammo per shot, which I'm pretty sure S.H.R.IMP cheated on this exam. A Nec'Rose's basic shot deals a total of 7 damage, while her charge shot deals a total of 17. A Nec'Rose also receives the fall-off damage treatment, which means up close, she will only deal 6 damage rather than 7, and her charge shot only deals a 13 rather than 17. So what does that mean? You stay.
Way the fuck over here!
So at first glance, a Nec'Rose really doesn't seem that big of a deal. She only deals 7 damage with a basic shot, while only dealing 17 per charge shot. So what exactly makes her good? Did I just deal 13 damage per basic shot? One major factor I left out about Nec'Rose is her unique Jinxed effect. The Jinxed effect is applied onto a target if Nec'Rose lands her charge shot onto any zombie. Once this Jinxed effect is in play, the zombie will take around 75% more damage from anything in the entire game. So here are some examples of the 75% damage increase. Jinxed also has another unique property. So normally, while using Imkata, a Turbo Twister, a Cannon Rodeo, a Barrel Blast, and Bolt Blaster all grant you armor. So while using the ability, that zombie will take less damage. For an example, Rod Chomper normally deals a 31 damage per bite, but against a barrel only deals 8 damage due to the armor granted while in Barrel Blast. So let's try that same thing, but after applying the Jinxed effect. That's a lot more damage than I just said. This happens since Jinx also removes any armor given from any abilities, and instead replaces it with the Jinxed effect, which seems pretty fair to me. The zombies, though, have one counterplay towards being Jinxed. If a zombie is to be healed after being Jinxed, that Jinxed effect is going to be removed, which is really cool, but when do you ever find scientists healing teammates? Alright, so in a conclusion, a Nec'Rose is very annoying. If you get Jinxed by her, you simply just have to run away or hope to God a scientist heals you. The 75% damage increase is way too scary to keep fighting, so you really just have to run away. and from her dealing more damage from range, it only motivates you to just camp as this character, since why would you go closer and deal less damage? And that is what motivates Nec'Rose players to just camp on roofs and spam Jinx. You can't really blame them since they're playing the character well, but you can't play the game, so it's like, it sucks. However, gentlemen, ladies, and they thems, she has one con. She is related to Barney the dinosaur. So, if you ever find any Nec'Rose player out there, simply call them a Barney the dinosaur. It's a million times funnier. Reg Soldier. He's a foot soldier variant who is a literal war veteran, which technically means he fought in World War II, but that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the rarity? Wait a minute, he has none. He's a literal reg character, which also means he has no gimmicks under his sleeve. He is literally just a regular character. So why the hell is this video titled Why Reg Soldier is Top Tier?
Well, leave me to explain.
Reg Soldier is a fully automatic character wielding a 30 ammo clip, which means if you hold down your primary button, he will shoot until you have to reload.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
While aiming with Reg Soldier, if you are a long or mid-range distance, try to predict where the plant is going rather than keeping your reticle on the plant. And this will make it so your shot will actually hit the plant rather than missing the plant. Though if you are close range, keep your reticle right on the plant and hold fire.
Dry, we know Reg Soldier is fully automatic, and we know how to aim with him.
Yes, loyal viewer, please give me 1 minute.
So with that in mind, what exactly makes him top tier?
Reg Soldier up close deals a maximum of 10 damage per bullet. Yes, 10 damage per bullet up close. Let's do some math in our head, shall we? If we have a 30 ammo, and each piece of ammo deals 10 damage, how much is that? Ding ding ding, I hope you got that right, since it's 300 damage. Wow. And that's not even the craziest part about this character. At maximum range, he deals 6 damage on a body shot, and 8 damage per headshot. Yeah, you heard me. So with that in mind, you could literally be anywhere you want on the map. Do you want to be sniping with this character? That's cool, man. Have fun dealing 8 damage. You want to be right in someone's face? Awesome, dude. I'll go melt their entire career with 10 damage. So with that all in mind, the main problem with this character is just balancing. What do I mean by this, you ask? The main problem is that a foot soldier receives 2 variants that are pretty much identical to him. Let's take Sky Trooper for an example. Sky Trooper is a fully automatic variant that has 30 ammo. Reg Soldier is a fully automatic variant that has 30 ammo. Sky Trooper up close, it deals 9 damage. Reg Soldier up close, it deals 10 damage. Sky Trooper from max range, it deals 5 damage. Reg Soldier at max range, it deals 8 damage. Sky Trooper may have a faster fire rate, but Reg Soldier overall is just miles better. So, goodbye, Sky Trooper. Let's look at another foot soldier variant, which is Arctic Trooper. Arctic Trooper is a fully automatic variant that has 30 ammo. Reg Soldier is a fully automatic variant that has 30 ammo. Arctic Trooper up close deals 8 damage. Reg Soldier up close deals 10 damage. At max range, Arctic Trooper deals 5 damage. At max range, Reg Soldier deals 8 damage.
But Dry, he freezes!
This character pretty much has 0 losing matchups. Literally none. His one losing matchup is pretty much just a cactus all the way in Narnia. But like, how do you counter that anyway? So he pretty much has 0 losing matchups. He is literally that good. If you have this character, master him, he is so busted. So good. And so fun. Due to my stats getting hacked, I don't have proof of this, but I did have 400 hours just on regular foot soldier. Reg Soldier is literally my main character in this game. Hot Rod Chomper. He's a chomper that is a literal race car, which technically means he could compete against Lightning McQueen in a race. But that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the super rare rarity and has a few gimmicks under his hood. For starters, he's fast. I'm talking faster than fast, quicker than quick, and this kid's lightning, baby. By default, with no upgrades equipped, Hot Rod's movement speed is faster than your average chomper. But his speed does not end there, folks. Hot Rod is the only character to receive not one, but 2 speed upgrades. And with both of these engines strapped on, you can flow like a Cadillac and sting like a Beamer. In simple language, you have the fastest base movement speed in the entire game. Hot Rod's second gimmick is his digestion. When Hot Rod is done eating a zombie, he will receive an extra burst of movement speed for 5 seconds. Which means, yes, you can stack this digestion movement with your 2 speed upgrades to completely flame your engine. Keep in mind though, this only works for digestion vanquishes, which means if you vanquish a zombie with either spikeweed, goop, or biting them, you will not receive this extra engine. A fun little bonus is that Hot Rod's insane speed stat could be stacked on with Burrow, which means, yes, if you use Sprint Burrow, then you are just insanely quick. Hot Rod has one more gimmick to his name, and that gimmick is his help. You see, Reg, Unicorn, Disco, and Yeti have 175 health. Armor Chomper has 215 health. A Chomp Thing has 135 health. A Twilight and Count Chompula have 150 health, which leads us to Hot Rod Chomper with 125 health. I'll repeat that, 125 health. To put that in perspective, a Reg Scientist 2-shots you, Cosmic Brainz 2-shots you, Captain Cannon 3-shots you, a Commando Super kills you off 1 reload, a Tank Commander 2-shots you, Scuba Soldier could double shot Stink Cloud you, the All-Stars could yeet an entire child at you. You are the definition of paper. And I fucking love it. This character is dopamine overload. You are fast, you are quick, and you are damn well gonna win that Piston Cup. To make it clear, you don't play as this character at the top of the scoreboard. At the end of games, you will most of the time be at the very bottom of your team, with a pretty mediocre KD at best. So, what does that mean? It means you play this character to have a damn good time. Feel like running into zombie spawn? Can do. Feel like annoying the entire zombie team? The job done. Feel like imitating your favorite race car, Lightning McQueen? Well, you son of a I'm in. The argument I always hear upon selecting Hot Rod Chomper is,
Well, Dry, why don't you select Twilight Chomper? He's just as fast as Hot Rod while being able to 3-shot most of the zombie cast. It could teleport like a tall black...
Because he's not a fucking race car, is he? Yes, Twilight Chomper is 1,000 times better than Hot Rod Chomper, but Hot Rod Chomper is a pure daredevil. The pure rush you feel while playing this character is just Mamma Mia, Lo Adoro. You're pretty much in a demolition derby each and every fight, since you have to think fast, swerve around zombies, while still trying to survive with your flimsy amount of HP. He may have the health equivalent of Guido from Cars. He may die to anything in the game, but I'm a motherfucking race car, dude, so who gives a damn? Also, by the way, Hot Rod Chomper's sounds are just so good. Like, guys, listen. Just listen to the sound design here. Simply a bellissimo, bellissimo. So, in conclusion, Hot Rod Chomper is absolutely horrible, but he's fun. Hot Rod Chomper trades 50 health for speed, but who gives a damn, dude? He has speed, he's got stamina, and he could definitely flow like a Cadillac and sing like a Beamer. Every Hot Rod player knows we aren't going for the leaderboard. We aren't going for most kills. We are just going for the pure enjoyment of being a race car. And if you want to argue with me saying I have to play the better Chomper being Twilight Chomper, then you can suck a alongside your mom, and along Super Commando. He's a foot soldier variant who has the haircut of a... We'll cover that later in the video. He falls under the rare rarity and has one gimmick to his name. So let's talk about it. Super Commando's primary compared to regular foot soldier is very different. A regular foot soldier's primary is a fully automatic 30 ammo weapon. When the primary button is held down, all of your ammo is thrown out. But while only tapping your primary, only one piece of ammo is thrown out, which means you can either fire fully automatically or by tap firing plants. A tap firing is mainly used for landing more shots, but having less damage per second. We go over a lot more foot soldier strategies in this video, but when compared to Super Commando, this is completely different. So rather than a gun, Super Commando wields a 3-ammoed crossbow. When the primary button is pressed, all of Super Commando's ammo is released. And while holding down the primary, this actually prevents you from firing any ammo, which is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie with you. What makes the Z3 crossbow so unique is that your entire ammo clip is launched out from one button click. There are other 3-burst characters in this game, however. For an example, Sunpharaoh. Sunpharaoh has a 3-burst primary, but rather than having only 3 ammo, she has 27 ammo, which means after one press of her primary, she will still maintain a bunch of more ammo to spam outwards. Meanwhile, Super Commando doesn't, hence his primary being named Z3 Crossbow. This benefits Super Commando greatly, since rather than keeping track of how much ammo you have, all you have to do is just press primary, and that's it. You are instantly reloading. Speaking of that, Super Commando's reload. A Commando Super with no upgrades has a pretty mediocre reload, I'd say. Let's actually do a quick pop quiz. How long does it take Super Commando to reload with no upgrades? If you answered C, you are correct. 78 milliseconds is Super Commando's reload without any reload upgrade. And if you tally that up, that means he has 78 milliseconds of downtime. A downtime is when a character takes a break. Here's an example. Camel Cactus deals 66 damage per shot, meanwhile only having 5 ammo. When she's out of her 5 ammo, it takes almost 4 seconds for her to fully reload, which means she has almost a 4-second downtime of not firing any shots. A Toxic P has 12 ammo with the biggest splash damage in the game. So with that in mind, he could spam a bunch of shots. However, Toxic P's reload is 2.5 seconds, which means there is 2.5 seconds of downtime where Toxic P is not firing at all. But Super Commando's downtime without reload upgrades is just 78 milliseconds. But if you combine Super Commando's reload upgrade on top of this, his downtime goes from 78 milliseconds to just 60 milliseconds, which could be decreased even further with his second reload upgrade to just a measly 53 milliseconds of downtime, which in summary means Super Commando could just spam, and spam with 0 penalty due to his 53 milliseconds of downtime. You're probably laying down in your bed thinking,
Well, Dry, this isn't that big of a deal. If Super Commando deals little damage, then this isn't a big of an issue.
yeah, no. Super Commando's damage is beyond unfair. At close range, he deals 22 damage per bullet. 22. Which if you land every shot, deals 66 total damage. Times that by 2, and you have 122 damage in just one reload, which could one-shot almost every Sunflower, 1-shot every Rose, and almost 2-shot almost every Pea Shooter and Cactus. This would be semi-balanced if these shots were at least a little bit difficult to hit, but they aren't difficult to hit. It's just point, click, and oh my god, I hit 66 damage. Hell yeah. You could literally camp at the back of the map with a Super Commando and be more threatening than a sniper, since the sniper characters have downtime, but Super Commando has no downtime. If you do find yourself struggling with aiming, here's how his primary works. All 3 bullets won't be fired at the same location unless you have your crosshair at the same location the entire time. If you move your crosshair at least a tiny bit, the bullets will drastically move. So while aiming, have your first shot hit the plant and then try to slightly predict their movement with the other 2 Z3 shots. Hope that makes sense. In conclusion, Super Commando is the best zombie in the game. He deals so much damage at the max and close range, 22 damage per bullet up close and 15 at the maximum range, with the almost little to zero downtime this character has. You could just spam, and spam with 0 penalty. And meanwhile, characters like Camel Cactus need to wait almost 4 seconds just to fire out 5 more ammo. On top of all these amazing stats, he's also just another foot soldier, and the foot soldier class is known to have 0 weaknesses in general, with having one of the best movement options in the entire game, and just ZPG just flat out existing. He's just so good, which is why I declare Super Commando to be the best zombie in the game. But if there was one thing nerfing Super Commando, that would be his barber. Turbo Twister. It's an ability for the Super Brainz class for your second ability slot. So let's talk about it. Let's see. The Turbo Twister transforms Super Brainz into a chaotic whirlwind, damaging plants as they're sucked towards him? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I gotta see that. Huh. I don't think that sucked him, did it? Turbo Twister's ability description is just a flat-out lie. So with that in mind, let's go down its resume one by one. The ability states,
Transform Super Brainz into a chaotic whirlwind damaging plants.
No. I don't know what PopCap's definition of chaotic is, but there's no way in hell this is their definition of chaotic. So chaotic damage? Check. Next up is, they are sucked towards him. I don't know what Super Brainz is into now and then, but let's just see what this is. And of course, there is 0 suckage happening. False advertising, man. So plants being sucked towards him? Unfortunately, nope. Alright. So the resume is completed, but why the hell does the ability state these things anyway? Why is it using the term chaotic damage, and why they tell me it sucks plants? Well,
Back in my day in 2016, Turbo Twister actually had these traits.
yup, the chaotic damage instead of 2 was 7. So let's do some math real quick. If back then you hit every tick of Turbo Twister, you would deal 137 damage for 1 use of an ability. Mamma mia. As well as the chaotic 137 damage. This ability also slowed down plants who were in the proximity of this ability, which is where the iconic "they're sucked towards him" comes into play. So everything was fine and dandy for Turbo Twister back in 2016, dealing 137 damage, until it didn't. In the year of 2020, Super Brainz received the following reworks for Turbo Twister. A Turbo Twister lost its slow effect. A Turbo Twister lost its suckage. A Turbo Twister's damage got nerfed from 7 per tick to 2. And instead, I got some pretty cool new traits, so let's talk about them. For one, the ability increases your movement speed by, look man, I don't know how much it helps you, but look, it's clearly faster. For 2, the ability lasts 1 second less. 3, this ability could be used to cleanse fire damage. Yes, get rid of fire damage. Only on these characters, not a barbecue corn. No, I don't know why either. And lastly, only dealing 2 damage per tick rather than 7, which rounds up its new damage from 137 all the way down to 36. And lastly, you receive a 35% damage boost upon spinning around, which is pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie with you. Devastating reworks for the ability. But with that all in mind, how the hell do you actually use Turbo Twister? 2024 Turbo Twister prioritizes in giving Super Brainz a retreat option rather than a damage option. Due to the defense and speed buff given upon usage, you could very easily escape any fight or situation with one click of a button. No heroic kicks on cooldown? Awesome, spin the win instead. And need to quickly turn the corner? Spin the win instead. And need to just run away? Spin the win instead. The 35% defense given onto a character with 200 health already makes for a massive retreat option, and that is the best way to use the ability. I'm gonna say that one more time. This ability is best used as a defense retreat option, not a damage option. You want to only use this ability as a retreat option to run away, not for damaging a plant. If you use it with the mindset of trying to kill a plant, then you are just stupid. Don't do that. And boom, there you go. And now you actually know how to use Turbo Twister. And now you may be asking, is there anything else we can do with this ability? If you really want to ruin someone's day, kill them with Turbo Twister. Before I go any further into this segment, I must say, once again, running away with Turbo Twister is 99.99% of the time a better option. One more time, it's only for style points, not for actual good gameplay. Now with that out of the way, I'm going to end off this video by showcasing my favorite Turbo Twister combos. Enjoy the watch and catch ya on the battlefield, punks.